I'm just going to create the first program in Java. So what I will do, we know that if I am going to use a program in Java, it will definitely contain any class, right? So I'm just writing class. But you might think that always we need two class because one class is the data type and another class is the main class. So how to define a class? Class and then the tag name. So this is your another class and then the tag name. So why we need these two class? Because in one class I will write the primitive data type like this A, right? And inside this class we can also define some method. So how to define a method? We have to write the name of the method, then bracket, and then this one, this curly braces. But you have to keep in mind always we have to write void or any other return type for a particular method. And say inside this method what I am going to do, say inside this method I am going to print the value of a. So printing statement in Java will look like system.out.println. Why it is known as system.out.println, I will tell you. So for the time being, just check that this is how we can print the value of the variable a. Now how we can print the value of the variable a? We just write a. See here, if I write, right? So here you have to remember one point. If I write a means the variable name directly, it means I want to print the content of a. Means whichever value is stored inside a, I want to print it. But by mistake, if I write this thing, a within double quotes, then what will happen? Whichever thing is written inside double quotes, it will be printed straight away. Means in the output screen, I will be able to see a only. So this is the difference. So while printing, you have to keep in mind what you want to print. You want to print the variable name or you want to print the content of the variable. So this is how you can print the content of the variable, and this is how you can print whatever thing is written as it is inside the double quotes. So as it is inside double quotes, it will be printed. Right? Now here there is third syntax you have to keep in mind. So whenever you want to print both, means I want to write something in written and then I want to print the variable like this. Say I want to print something like this. Say within double quotes I'm just writing value of the variable a, and then I want to print the value of the variable a. So now try to understand this thing I want to see in the screen as it is, value of the variable a, and why I am writing this a, because I want to see the content of the variable a, right? But see, whatever I have written inside this double quotes, it is in string. The data type of this is string, and whatever content we are having in this variable a, it is of type integer. So here the problem is we cannot write string along with integer. So to write integer or float with string, we have to perform concatenation. So concatenation means we have to write plus a. Plus a means internally this a is converted to string. So at that point of time this a will become a string and it is also a string. Now they can sit together. So in Java, whenever you are writing something and then you are printing some value, so you have to use plus. Plus is known as concatenation operator. So any kind of syntax you can use in Java. But there is another question which is little bit tricky. Is it always correct to write print ln, or can I write system.out.print? So I will also write this syntax. See, this syntax is also applicable in Java. That is, I can write system.out.print also. Say testing purpose. So what will happen? So the difference between these two syntaxes, whenever I'm just writing ln stands for next line. So here we have println. It means after printing the value of a, in the next line we will able to see a. Since we have ln over here, so after printing a, in the next line I will be able to see the value of variable a and then the value of the variable a, right? And since we have print over here, here ln is missing. So what will happen if I am going to write anything after this printf statement, say testing 2, so this two output will sit side by side like this, testing and testing 2 like this. So since ln is missing over here, so this value will not be printed in the next line. But in the interview, when it is asked that, is it a correct statement? Your answer will be yes. Since ln stands for new line. If this ln is missing, then the next part of the printing statement will not be printed in the next line. So these are the different kinds of system.out.println statement you can use, right? However, it is very easy that if you have any float value, say b, and then how you can print this floating point value, you just write same thing. No need to use %d or %f, just write system.out.println b. And if you want to display something like this, so you can write it as, so value of the variable b is say plus b. Simple, right? So these are the different printf statement that you can use in Java. But again you can ask me one question. Okay, now what happens if we want to write this two statement within one system.out.println? Then what we are going to do? Within a single system.out.println, I want to print A as well as I want to print B. So what I will write? So in that case, the syntax will be a little bit complicated. See here. So whenever I'm printing something, so I'm just writing system.out.println, right? Now this is the statement. Say value of A and B. Now after that you have to write first variable name. So A is the first variable, this is string and this is integer. That's why I'm just writing one concatenating symbol. So now after printing the value of A, I need a blank space. Then I'm going to print the value of B. So now you have to write one blank space. So in Java, how you can write a blank space? Double quotes means quotes, then put a space and then quotes. So this is how you can put blank space between two variable. But see, this is the integer variable and this is a string in Java, blank space. So again you need one concatenation symbol between it, and then you can print the value of B. Again this is a string, this is a float, so you need a concatenation symbol. So this is how it will look like. So I'm just writing it, you will be able to see. So here I'm going to print two variables together. How it is possible? See. system.out.println, then the statement. What is the statement? Value of variable a and b. Now, how we can write this? First, we will print the value of a variable. So, this is string and this is integer. So, I will use concatenation symbol. Now, after printing the value of a, I need blank space. This is how a blank space will look like. So, blank space in Java means it is string and it is integer. In between, I need another plus sign. Then, after this blank space, I want to print the value of variable b. This is string, this is float, so I need again a concatenation symbol, right? So this is how you can print two or more variable together in Java, right? So here space does not matter. You can write like this also. So string, concatenation symbol, first variable. Concatenation symbol, blank space, concatenation symbol, second variable. This is how you can print two or more variables together, right? So this is how the function will look like. So this is the first class that we have written. So this is our class definition. Now we have to create what? We have to create variable of a class. Why we need variable of a class? Because I have to access these two variables. Now creating variable of a class is not so easy. First we have to write main function or main method. This is how the main method will look like. But in Java, main method will not look like this. We have to write public static void main. And also inside main, we have to write string args array. I will explain it one. So this is how your main method will look like. So here you can create object of a class. So now let's create the object of a class. So we are going to create object of which class? Object of a class. So that's why I will write the name of the class. Then I will write the object name. Anything you can give in the lowercase. Then equal to, then new operator. And then you have to repeat this class name with this symbol. So what is this? I will tell you. This is how the object is created. So this is known as object creation. Here we have created object of class A. Done. Now, why I have created this object? In order to access the variables. How to access the variables? Now I will write just the object name dot the variable that I am going to access. I am going to access the variable A. Accessing variable means assigning value and printing the value. So assign some value. A is an integer, so I'm just assigning the value. Also, you can access the variable B also. So B is a floating point value, so I will use some floating point value and just write F. And then how to print this one? No need to print because they are already printed inside the method. But see, after assigning the value, so they are printed over here. So they are printed inside a method. So I want to execute that method also. Because if I am not going to execute this method, how I will able to see the system.out.println statement? So our third responsibility is to call the method. For calling the method also, you have to write the variable name or the object name dot the method name. Here the method name is f and then we have two braces. So this is how we can call a method. See, in case of structure, there is no concept of function inside the structure. So that's why we never write this kind of syntax. But in case of Java, a class may contain variables as well as methods. So that's why after assigning the values in the variables, you have to call the method. This is known as calling of method. And how you can call a method? By using object name, that is OB, then dot method name. And after that you have to write this bracket. This is how you can call a method. Then it is done. So basically in the main class, what we will do, we will define the main method, we will create the object, we will assign values in the variables, and we can call a method. And in the general class, what we are doing? In the general class, we are defining the primitive data types and the method body. And you have to remember one more point: whenever you are defining variables inside the general class, they are known as member variables. This is a member variable. This is also a member variable. And whenever you are defining method inside a class, it is known as member method. So now come to the third definition of a class. Can I say that class is something that may contain member variables and member methods? So the final definition is class can hold member variables and member method, but if a class is holding main method, then at this point of time it is known as main class. And the class which is holding member variable and member methods, it is known as general class, right? So here B is the main class and A is the general class. Now the final rule in Java. So now after writing any code, you have to save the code. So the biggest rule is you have to give the file name same as the main class name. So here the main class name is capital B. So you have to save this file with the name capital B dot Java. Why this rule? I will explain this one. We have a long theory. So the name of the file will be same as the main class name. And then while saving, you just select here all files. It is saved, right? Now how to execute this code? Just press Windows key and R, or you can just go to the command prompt directly, or you can write Windows key plus R, then CMD. CMD stands for change mode directory. So this is the command. See, now I am here. See user and Anindita. But I have saved my file in the desktop. So I have to go to the desktop, because after going to the desktop, then only I can access the file b.java. So how to go to the desktop? So I will write cd, means change directory from this location to desktop. So now I'm going to desktop. See, now I am at desktop and we know that b.java file is in the desktop. So now I can access that file. So after writing a code, our first responsibility is to compile the code. How to compile the code? First, I will write the name of the Java compiler, that is Java C space, then the file name b.java, then enter. If you have any error, it will be displayed just immediately after the compilation. If no error, then you will get this one. So compilation is done. After compilation, we have to run the Java code. How to run the Java code? Just write the keyword Java space, only the file name. Do not use any extension .java while executing the Java code. So just write the Java keyword and name of the file. Enter. See, it is displaying all the outputs. See here, 10. Why 10? This is printing the value of A, this one. Then it will print A. See, we are having A. So content of the A is 10, and then in within double quotes we have A. So whatever we have in the double quotes, it's printing as it is. Then value of the variable a. So value of the variable a is this one. The value of the variable is then plus a. So it is showing value of the variable is 10. Then testing, this one. See, since we have no println, we have print. So testing to everything is overlapping here. So they are printing side by side, testing and testing 2 and 2.6. Right? So this is how printing statement will look like. So you can try and test different kind of testing statement and see this one. The last line is very much important. Here we have printed the value of A and B together. The value of A and B is 10 and 6.7. So we can print both of them together within a one system.out.println statement, right? So this is how you can execute your Java code. And we have so many things in the Java, we have to remember each and everything. So I will explain each and everything. So what is our final discussion? First, class is a user defined data type. Second, it is known as call by reference because whichever object I am created, it is stored in the heap memory. And the third point is in Java, we have two kinds of classes, general class and main class. Since our main class name is B, see, I'm written b.java over here. So this is the first step.